What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Here to talk about The Chi episode 4, season 6 on Showtime. What a good episode. It seems like it's kind of still a somewhat of a slow build for the season, but it seems that Duda has his claws in pretty much everybody on the show. And it looked like he's about to say his last prayer for Reverend Stanley, a.k.a. Pastor Cavassier. No weapon wielded against me can harm me. Is there any more I can do for you? Yeah, it's something they can do for you. What size is that final suit you about to be putting on, Stanley? Papa about to be a mama's boy. Speaking of Papa, man, I just knew they was going to show that was a dream sequence when they had him in the bowling alley. I mean, that was just so kind of cornballish when he helped her with the bowling stands, and then they had the little dance. I knew it was your song. I had them play it. And he had his glasses off. He put them lips out for that kiss hard in a mug. She was like, things I do for TV roles. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to everybody involved. That was funny. But I did think it was a dream when he was dancing and then they had that magical kiss. I'm like, wait a minute. This just is like too perfect, and I don't know. It didn't seem right. But anyway, Papa's corny as always, talking about, yeah, my lady don't smoke. I'm not your lady. Yeah, I know. She like, yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, we got things to do. I just, I'm trying to stay focused. I don't want to smoke either. Like, man, Papa, come on. Papa not a player. Papa wasn't. Instead of Papa was a player from Nas, is Papa not a player. Anyway, it was a good episode. And a couple other things. We see Duda come through smashing, right? Very first thing we see is Duda in the shower tearing up the old girl, right? And we see Candy Burris is back, a.k.a. Rosalind. And she walk in like, I gotta let you know something. She ain't worried about him smashing an old girl like, hey, what's up, Rosalind? So, hey, at least he may have 99 problems or things going on, but these ladies ain't one of them. So that is a good thing for him at least. Shout out to what's up, James. What's good, my brother? Ill Woods in the building. How you feeling, fam? What's good, Damian Kinney? What's good, fam? How you doing? Got Halo Gods Media Entertainment. R.I.P. Papa's dad. Papa's dad is about to be saying his last rites pretty soon. We about to have him come back in the next episode as the Undertaker. Oh, Papa is already look like a pallbearer. The black pallbearer. He about to come out in front of his dad as the Undertaker. He gonna be in the little casket and rise up. Boom. Should have took that collection plate. Should have took that offering, Undertaker. It's over for him. I mean, I don't know what Papa should do. Maybe he should go into witness protection. Because right about now, it's about to be a rap. And it ain't going to be one of Maisha's rap. It's going to be a real rap. Speaking of Maisha, Jimma putting all this pressure on Maisha to succeed because she don't want to go to college. Because she believe college is a scam. Maisha want to go to college. Maisha ain't tripping. And she hasn't told or expressed this to Maisha. And so that's why they clash and like, you need to stop coming for me. Well, you need to be working. Well, somebody got to. What you trying to say? You the one that's already where Maisha trying to be, and you don't want to be there. And so you in a hurry to get out of there for no reason. It's always the ones that don't understand what the parents did for them and how fortunate they are that want to run away and do something stupid nowadays. And Gemma is just the next one doing the same thing. And yet she thinks she setting her own way, doing her own thing, not realizing that if she listened, she could have still did that. Now, this is something I was about to get to, and since you put this in the comments, I'm going to get to it first right now. Shout out to Jay Tovin. It says, it would be crazy if she had a wire. So first off, that's the very first thing I was thinking when Roz came. And I know that's who you got to be talking about, and that's Roz when she came back on the scene. And all of a sudden talking about Q was a Fed. And next thing you know, here's this fool talking about, well, good thing he floating down the river. I don't know why he said that. And then everybody she went and talked to, she pretty much got them to have some type of admission of guilt in front of her. And none of these people know if she was wearing a wire. How did she find this information out? They didn't question any of that stuff. Soon as she would have said something like that, I'd be like, damn, feel bad for whoever was involved with that one. Anyway, what you having for breakfast? I wouldn't admit to nothing. And she'd be like, well, ain't you worried? I'd be like, worried for what? I ain't had nothing to do with it. And she'd be giving me the look, and she'd be like, but what about this and that? I'm like, I don't know what the hell you talking about. Straight up, you wouldn't have had me saying nothing. And so she already got Duda and Vic admitting to it. Ain't no telling who else she may have talked to, but really that's enough right there. And then we see Big Rob, who got to sit down in every scene because he's so damn big, unless they zoom out of the frame. But anyway, he said, man, you ain't like my uncle, did you? Yeah, don't be lying to me. I get up and step on your little ass, boy. What they say, we heard you turn your trap house into another type of house already, so what? Don't make me come over there. Oh man, that scene seemed kind of forced to me when they had the kid or whatever come into Jake's house talking about, man, what in the world, y'all done turned from a trap house to a tran house. And so Jake came and threw everybody out and just, anybody else want some? What? You next? What? Don't be disrespected. I don't know. It just didn't seem... it just didn't seem like it was, I don't know, a natural occurring situation to me. Seemed a little different. Like it was kind of forced a little bit. But I guess they want to put in a scene where we're seeing that Jake is now starting to be the man of the house, growing to his own, and also that his clothing business is taking off. He has some new young up-and-coming rapper wearing his label, and Gemma talking about he's misogynistic. So, shoot, I ain't the rapper. I ain't his agent. I'm glad he wearing the shirt, that's all. A little water break. Stay hydrated out there, y'all. I love this alkaline water I drink. It's pretty good. I get it from Amazon. It's kind of expensive, though. But I drink it so fast. I drink a whole case of it in less than a month. So, it's pretty good. Anyway, I digress. But I will be taking another hit pretty soon. You know, there's a pretty good couple things happening with this episode. And also, Q being a Fed. That seems kind of weird to me, considering some of the things that he did on the show and was involved in, allegedly, on the show. Now he's a Fed. I don't know. Maybe he's an informant. Maybe. Who knows? So, allegedly, the story goes from season 1, which, this is a different show from season 1 and 2, definitely, today. You could really say this is a whole nother show. This is like a Friends sitcom, a hood Friends sitcom. Whereas the first 2 seasons, it was revolving around the death of a kid and who killed him and dealing with gang in the hood. And so it was just different. But with that being said, him killing people and things, I mean, they say allegedly he came back because of the death of Tracy's son. Who knows where he was? They say Cuba. Maybe not. He had money. He always paid and took care of Tracy. And when he came back, he was able to get that apartment across from Trice and do whatever he wanted to do. He wasn't like he needed a Social Security check. So, hey, who knows? Who knows? But the one thing that I would have been thinking as soon as she said that is, how does she know, and is she wearing a wire? And they just opened up and talked with her openly, which, hey, I'm not too sure about that. All right. Now, I see now Teo Prism said, I need a link. I don't have the app anymore. I don't know about a link, but I do know that it's on Showtime Anytime app. That's all I know. Maybe it could be on Fire Stick or something. I don't know. This water go down so smooth, man. Halo Gods Media Entertainment said she might be the informant. That's another option. And, with her having that information first, it's a good possibility. And who knows, maybe she could be trying to set them up to clear herself on something. You never know with what's going on. So, Halo God said, yeah, check a Fire Stick or an NVIDIA Shield or something like that. I don't even know what NVIDIA Shield is. Alright. But, anyway, we see that it's supposed to be 420 day on the show. And everybody's smoking. It seemed like every character on the show was somehow smoking or enjoying the 420 day. And we see that, they, had, kind of gave us a view of Vic's significant other, Fatima, and circle of friends. And it seems that they were talking a lot about one was saying that it's all right to have Vic take care of you and you need to have a man be a sugar daddy. Which is funny because it's like familiar conversations you would hear from certain kind of women. And then you have another that's saying, no, that ain't the case. And, you know, maybe you should be you. But still be happy. I don't know. And so we see that Fatima, we learn, is kind of worried about career, but at the same time said is a freelance journalist and is taking care of one's self right now, not looking for a sugar daddy or any of that stuff. They just taking it slow, but did officially move in. And so they were kind of getting on the case that Jake lives there later, and does he pay money, and this, that, and the other. Talking about, oh, well, he need to get out your house. Jake been there since day one. What? So, they did change the tune, at least, once he stood up for the situation at hand and threw people out. But I was kind of like getting a little salty that anyone could even have the audacity to say something like that to the person's brother. Now, they didn't say it to him, but even thinking that way. As if he wrong for living there. So, anyway. Let's see. What up, Dee 73? How you doing, sis? What's good? What's good with you? All right, now, what do y'all think about Dre and the new boo that now works there with Dre? We see Dre. She like, oh, I thought you had a type. What's Dre type? What type is she? Little thick, little chocolates. She like little thick meat. Oh, girl was a cutie, little thickums. And so what? Nina ain't got it like that. Nina ain't ugly. Nina pretty thick now. We saw Brad ain't have a problem splitting that thickness. So, I mean, but Nina looks older, I guess, than her. But truth be told, Nina and Dre look age appropriate to me. They look like they the same age, so I don't think that they don't have a bad chemistry as far as that. But it seemed like the woman that Dre saw at work was maybe a little younger. She like to do massages. She massages it. Things get loose in her hands. You want some coffee, Dre? So it turned out now they both married. Dre was like, oh, I ain't know you was, oh, it's cool. I ain't know you was here working here. She ain't tell me. Oh, I ain't know she need to run it by you. People love to say stuff to try to start some drama. I'm glad Dre was like, oh, she don't. I'm just saying that she didn't tell me is all I'm saying. Deuces. But I do think that will be an issue coming forward. And we will see how it go. Man, what's up with Keisha now? Keisha is so miserable all the time. We see, what is she listening to? Was that schoolwork or some type of self-help book or something she was listening to? I think it may have been schoolwork, trying to take care of the kids. I get it. She's doing a lot. Now she's talking about, well, we need a daycare. I mean, we need a nanny. And we this and that. He tried to talk to her. She always mad at Emmett. Like, this dude is steadily getting in deeper and deeper with Doodah, trying to please Tiff. I mean, Keisha. And I know women to say, well, I ain't asked you to do that. But this is what you're doing, though. So, women, when you be saying, but I ain't asked you to do that. Yeah, you did. By putting all this pressure and making him move faster at things instead of letting it have the natural progression because you always unhappy. So that's the pressure, him trying to make you happy. And now he's putting himself in situations that he probably wouldn't have had that not happened. So, you know, Keisha, man, always got a bad attitude. If I was him, I think he'd be safer getting rid of her. Because then he could get rid of Doodah too, because then he wouldn't need it. But he in trouble. He's way too deep in with Doodah. And I'm glad that him and Darnell finally had that talk. But I would have had to put my foot down like, hey, you giving me that back. What the hell? You ain't got no right going through none of my stuff in my play, taking, like, oh no, either that's coming back or we got a problem. Like, I know you want to say this and that, but especially with his relationship with Darnell, Negro, you wasn't even here. You just stepped into my life the last few years, and now you decide you going to play daddy and take this and do that. Like, you crazy. Like, yeah, if I was Emmett, I would have definitely put my foot down with that one, and I would have needed that back. Who are you to think? And he talking about, well, you put it right there, like, you know, hey, man, that was temporary. Only person that saw it and went up in there was you. You worried about them. They wasn't about to go in there and mess with it. It's your ass. I was going to move it and do whatever. That's my right. That's my choice. That's my house. That's what I'm doing. So you can't decide to start coming in and choosing and rearranging and taking stuff out of here, especially you ain't say nothing or ask me. I mean, that's ridiculous. So, yeah. And then they had that old circle of friends talk, which, if you all didn't notice, a breadcrumb dropped out of Shad's mouth. I be lusting over this woman I can't have. Next thing you know, she showed up to dinner with his circle of friend partner, Marcus. That's who he in love with. And Shad lusting over her, but he can't be with her because she want a man that got something and he ain't got nothing. And he need a woman that got something and she ain't got nothing for him, at least. So, definitely, he in trouble. And his woman basically supporting him. Hell, she even had to support him on the dinner table as much as he was leaning on her ass. So, and then he damn near blew it. About to take that bag full of guns. He might as well just went right into prison. Because if he got caught, that's exactly what it is. Do not pass go. Your ass is grass. You blew it. You dummy. Shout out to Savannah Rivers Amore for coming through with the super sticker. I appreciate it. Spreading love to the channel as always. Definitely appreciate you being, you know, supportive to the fam. Being part of the fam for many years. Shout out to Savannah Rivers Amore. Halo Gods Media. I wasn't paying no attention when he said that. Yep, he sure did. He said, I'm lusting over this woman I can't have, so he can't have her. Remember, last, season, he smashed her in the basement of Vic's crib when, she got dumped by Vic, and he was going through his little thing with his lady. So they had their little come to Jesus moment, and they came together to Jesus. And so we see that now they back to where they going, they separate ways, and even the woman tried to throw shade, which I thought that was kind of rude of them to start throwing that shade and grilling her like they did as soon as she sat down. They could have did a little skip or time lapse or something, made it seem like they've been there for a minute. They started hitting her with the wa-da-da-ba-ba-da, when you with Vic. Last time we saw, I'm like, damn. What kind of work you do? Shad, I don't know, I forgot what Shad why he wanted to cut that off. But it was kind of interesting that he didn't want her to say what kind of work she does. Maybe because... Is it because he didn't want his woman to know that... Well, she know that he know Vic. She know Vic. So I don't know. I don't know why he did that. That was kind of interesting. So, anyway, we see he ran his ass out of there with the guns, which is about the best thing he could do. Thunder God said the episode was weak, Jay. Thumbs down. I mean, it's not on the level of the first 2 seasons of The Chi. It's better than some other seasons of The Chi. But is it really exciting and doing a lot right now? Not yet. It's kind of still a slow burn. I thought it might have picked up more this episode, considering it's only 10 episodes. But that stuff is burning slow, like the weed that Tiffany grow. This season burning slow. So if a person says it's weak, I mean, everybody gives their ratings based off expectations. You expect certain amount of things and that doesn't happen, you would be disappointed. And so I would not say anybody wrong if they think it's great or bad, because it's to each person's opinion and expectations. But I will say it is not as interesting or as exciting as previous episodes or seasons, in my opinion. Alright. So, let's see. That's funny. Halo God Media said, what? Leia needs 50 Cent. Help her with the Chi. I don't think that she's really involved with the show as much as she used to be. I'm not sure. Lena Waithe. I think we put Leah. Kind of threw me off a little bit, but it's Lena Waithe. Shout out to Lena Waithe, creating the Chi. But hey, like I say, it ain't the worst. It ain't up to what it's been, but hey, we'll get into it and stick to a couple more minutes at least, because I will give my honest review, which is my MOORESCORE rating, where if you're not familiar, I do a rating 4 simple categories, and I rate the episode. I do a rating on things whenever you see the MOORESCORE, and I try to be non-biased as much as possible. You know, so anyway, it's only one category where I do throw in the bias, and that's entertaining and the fun fact. Did enjoy it. So, you know, it is what it is. We saw all the kids doing 420 at Kev house. They started slipping shots. Looked like Kev and Maisha almost let that big old cat out the bag. So who knows? Gemma is real nosy, and I really don't like Gemma nosy self, and how she kind of manipulative and a smart ass and a lot of other stuff. I never really liked her character, a little spoiled little brat. So we'll see how it go. You know, another thing we saw on 420 Day is that Tiff and Keisha was sitting smoking, chilling, and they end up talking about Emmett, which is that's why it's not a good thing to have your baby mamas be buddies. And she talking about, don't be afraid to check his ass. No, that's why he not with you. And if you give that same advice to Keisha, guess what? He not going to be with you, Keisha. So any women out there listening, don't take advice from the last baby mama, because you're going to end up being the next last baby mama. Okay? It's a reason why he ain't with her. If everything she said worked all the time, she'd probably still be there. So, following that, Yeah, I'm gonna be done with both of y'all ass. Always nagging, thinking you here to check me. Oh no, yeah, that right there, I ain't like that. But we'll see how it all turn out with that. You see Darnell with his little idea talking about we gonna be some sexy maids. We gonna be fixing pipes, not laying pipes. Like, come on, man. Darnell, he's still funny or whatever, but I really, if I was him, it would have a big problem with him taking that up out my crib, especially without asking. What y'all think about Doodah's crime den, Doodah's den of thieves? He got an old young girl up in there. He talking about, yeah, which one of them is ruthless enough to take over? Yeah, he's loyal, but he ain't ruthless enough. He's still wet behind the ears. So, I don't know, man. If I was Duda, I would not give any hints, especially to her, if I was thinking about giving somebody a chance to come up behind me or take over, or I was molding them. Now, it seemed that Nuck is really trying. She like, they all want to be like you. Yeah. Goldie knows. Doodah does as Doodah did. Doodah day. All the Doodah day, baby. So, he's sitting there real cool, looking like the Mac Pimp of the Year. And it seems that he's having a problem still getting people to take these guns or money, which I don't understand why he's trying to get these squares involved that don't want anything to do with it. I'm sure there's plenty of dudes on the street that would have no problem getting involved with him. So I'm wondering, why does he keep trying to force these guys to do this? And I don't know. It's kind of weird right now what is going on with that. And I'm wondering where that's going. And why does he keep trying to give these people this money to do what? To just hold it? I mean, what are they, money laundering? I don't understand what is he doing with this money. So, I don't know. Somebody let me know, why is he trying to keep giving them money to what? Money launder? I mean, so Stanley don't want to do it. I'm sure the next church would be more than happy to take that bag of money and leave him alone. But now they keep messing with him and pushed him to the point where if they say that the wolf is in the den, then we gonna have to burn that den down. Don't let that wolf in the den. In the lion, it cometh to seeketh and devour. The Doodah lion that is the worst lion in the jungle. In the jungle. Why you got him pushed to that point? I don't know. So, let's see. Courtney Williams said Doodah is setting people up. I mean, I don't see how. I mean, if Emmett is probably one person that could be getting set up, since he is so tied into him with his business and home and all this stuff, and not a bag of money, which I don't know why they giving him a bag of money to what? Just put in the closet? What he supposed to do with that? So, I don't get that. So, we'll see. Lil J, there's an investigation about Q murder because he was an informant. So they split up the guns and money and got it away from Q just in case they raid. Okay. Well, that's why he said he didn't want the guns anywhere around them. But they've been trying to get rid of this money, or actually the money and the guns, for a couple episodes now. But it makes sense now, as far as what you say, as far as if he does get raided by FBI or something over Q, that there's no guns around him or any of that. But he was trying to do this before he knew that happened. But at least now that does help. As far as the money, I don't know. I think he could be doing some better ways than what he's doing. But maybe that is why he's splitting it up the way he is. But if that's the reason why, and if that's how much he has, he really don't have that much money then. If he could put it in a couple bags and throw it out there like that, hold this, hold that. I mean, more money than I have. I ain't got money, but as far as, I ain't no drug kingpin or Chicago mastermind. So that's the difference with me versus how much I have in him. So we'll see how it all play out. But I don't know. It was interesting to see Duda in church. I know he was getting hot. It's probably why he got up out of there. I don't know. How many of you all think that Nuck is about to buck? Nuck finna buck. What? Nuck finna buck. What? Nuck finna buck. What? Papa Stanley. I think that this is where it's going to come in, that, you know, it's going to be some type of conflict between Nuck and, I always forget his name. What's the young guy's name? I don't know why I keep forgetting his damn name. I'm getting so old now. But he lived with Papa, and he's Papa's best friend. Shoot. You say I'm cash poor, Courtney Williams. Damian Kinney, you say, yeah, it's money laundering. Remember, Reg turned Duda on the branding business to watch the money. Exactly. Bakari, that's the name. Thank you, Courtney Williams. Bakari. I think this is either where Bakari will either die because he's going to interfere and maybe prevent something, which then he going to pay, or he does nothing. Papa's fathers get killed, and then he's going to feel it. He's going to have regrets, and he may be the one to kill Duda or kill Nuck, or maybe Papa turn into Big Papa. I don't have to stay out. I can stay out past 12. My Papa is dead. I don't have to worry. I don't have to ask for no more excuses. What? Oh, give me some. We can go bowling every night. Lay down. Eating Klondike. Real sweet. So who knows? We'll see how it plays out. But I think that's a theory that's possible. All right. Let me go ahead and give you my rating for this episode, my MOORESCORE rating. So let's do it. All right. So for those that know, and for those that are new, the MOORESCORE is my simple 4-category rating system where 25 points each, 4 quarters equal $1, and you can always round it to just the nearest 10 and get a rating 1 out of 10. So, visual cinematography, this show does use top-notch cameras, and they do use some good, stock footage of Chicago, which I do like to see. But overall, nothing really special to see here. Nothing really unique about the camera angles or usage. Just typical basic camera usage. So I will give it an 18 out of 25. Next, storyline and plot. Although it is somewhat interesting to me, it is a slow burn. It seemed like it's dragging. It's starting to turn into like Friends or something. Girlfriends and young friends or something. And, everybody's got a group chat session. And it's just a lot of talking and dialogue. Although I don't have a problem with dialogue and stories, it seems like we are at the same spot we were in last episode, other than we now know that Q was working for the feds. So, somewhat interesting, not very interesting. Papa corny made me laugh, but I could have swore that I was going to say or show him waking up, and that was a dream. So for that whole sequence at the bowling alley to have actually taken place, I was like, oh man. Overall, I'm going to give it a 20 out of 25. Not the greatest, not the worst. Special effects, makeup, costumes, not a special effects driven show. Nothing that jumped off the screen as far as costumes and makeup for me that I noticed. So I will give it an 18 out of 25. And lastly, entertainment fun factor. Did I really enjoy it? How much did I like the episode? It wasn't bad. It wasn't that great. It's not one of the most memorable episodes of the series. With this being said, I'd give this episode, I'd give it an 18 out of 25 as far as fun factor, enjoyment. And with that being said, it brings my total rating to a score of 74. 74 out of 100, which you could rate to round to a 7.5 out of 10. I always give a 0.5 margin of discretion. If some people thought it was a 7, I could see that. If some people felt it was an 8, they can make a case for that. But I would definitely say it's somewhere in between. I can see that. Not one of the greatest or best or most memorable episodes for real. What a lot of people would call a filler episode. Something to put into a show so they can get a certain amount of episodes. And maybe has a few interesting points. But for the most part, doesn't really move the story along a lot, and really doesn't give you much more than where you last left off. Filled time, filled space, filled some wallets, and hey, it's a reason for all of those. So I'm never going to say or complain on any of those things. Somebody needs all of them. With that being said, what would you rate it? What's your MOORESCORE? Let me know in the comments. And also, what do you rate this season so far? This season, maybe because the Chi did take a dip a couple seasons, that maybe I'm having my expectations have changed somewhat. And so I think that it is maybe a little better than some seasons or some episodes, but not even as good as others. And so with that being said, I'm really ready for them to get to whatever it is they've been building Dudop to be, and building him up in everybody's life. Because when all those men were sitting at a circle, they all had the same problem, which was doodah. Whether it was Vic or Jim's dad or, Darnell. Everybody had a problem, other than Lene's brother. He the only one that ain't got doodah in his life. Everybody else at that table was screwed one way or another by him. So, Marcus done got his ass kicked and put in the hospital. So, anyway. We about to get up out of here. You back at work, Savannah? That's what's up. Good to hear. Happy for you. Glad that you're feeling better and healthy enough to go back to work. You say, let's take a shot of Patron. I had to get my shot glass together over here. We're going to have to do it Sunday. I'll be ready Sunday. You come back Sunday, we're going to take a shot. All right? Guaranteed. Yes, all right, y'all. I'm about to wrap this episode up. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Let me know what you think about this episode as well as this season of The Chi so far. I have been following this show since the first season. It's kind of interesting because this was one of the first shows I reviewed on a regular basis along with the first Power. And this is still going. And hey, it's interesting to see the kids grow up and the journey of these characters and things. And I'm interested in what you guys think about the show. Of course, me being from Chicago, love Chicago, interested in Chicago, really enjoyed the show in the beginning. Was on the rocks for a little while. And now, it's a roller coaster ride. Let's put it that way. And so hopefully it goes back up and stays up at the top of this roller coaster. Because I like the creators and everything that's got it to be a good show. And sometimes some things can distract it from the core of what made it great. And hopefully it get back to that. I think building around Doodah and him being the big bad wolf was a good move. But maybe they're slowing things down because they probably are going to go scorched earth and run out of characters. Who knows? So they slowing it down Game of Thrones style. Anyway, we lost Ronnie and Grandma. Grandma. I'm up out of here, y'all. Be safe. Stay hydrated. I'm out of here. Deuces.